Marinero, the Sick Podcast. Good news, Montreal Canadiens fans. In Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, the Montreal Canadiens played a much better game than they did in Game 1. Much better. Shots on goal, Montreal, 43. Tampa Bay, 23. Face-offs, Canadiens, 53%. Tampa Bay, 47%. Power play, Canadiens 1 for 3. Tampa Bay, 0 for 3. Giveaways, Tampa Bay 6. Montreal only 2. Final score, 3-1 Tampa. I'm so discouraged. You know, they say that you're not in trouble until you lose a game on home ice. And of course, if you don't, well, then at that point, you still have to go out and win Game 7 on the road. But this one hurt tonight. This one really hurt. It's a Sick Podcast with Marinero. The show is brought to you by Essentia, the world's only natural memory foam mattress. Go to myessentia.com/sickpod and see why Essentia is the mattress of choice for many athletes, including over 25% of professional hockey players. Use code SICKPOD for a free pillow with your purchase. Essentia Beyond Organic Sleep. And at one point, I thought the way the Canadiens were playing, that they were putting the Tampa Bay Lightning to sleep. The Montreal Canadiens were clearly the better team in the first period, and I said, all right, this is it's a typical road game. The Canadiens are in this one. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I believe. And then in the second period, Anthony Cirelli gets a goal. Listen, there was traffic in front of Carey Price. Yes, there was. But I still watch it on the slow-mo over and over and over again, and I think that Carey Price should have had it. But the Montreal Canadiens go on the power play, and that happens just about 4 minutes after Cirelli's goal, that Nick Suzuki, unassisted, takes a shot in direction of the Tampa Bay net, and it goes right through Andre Vasilevsky's legs. The way I told Eric Erlinson, Lightning Insider, that the Canadiens have to do, they have to go for the 5-hole. And as Eric told us, if there's a weakness that Vasilevsky has, it's actually shots from far instead of shots from close. So at that point, I'm figuring, okay, you know what? Price should have had the Cirelli goal. Vasilevsky should have had the Suzuki goal. Let's see what happens. And then a game of mistakes, we know. Philip Deneau has had a great playoff, uncharacteristically with a turnover in the neutral zone. And Ben Sherratt goes up to it and forces a play to Barclay Goodrow, who puts it by him, a pass to Blake Coleman, who redirects it. Deneau's trying to track back, slides, tries to get a stick on it. Coleman gets a whack at it, and Coleman scores with like 1 second left in the second period, putting the Tampa Bay Lightning up by a score of 2-1. And a shout-out to Excellent Photo, centrally located close to downtown shopping and universities in Montreal. They ship to all of Canada. Professional staff at the store and online to help you choose the gear you really need. ExcellentPhoto.ca. If you would take a picture of Carey Price's reaction when that puck goes in, with 1.3 seconds left in period number 2, it's like he's looking at Sherratt and looking at Deneau, looking at his teammates saying, you gotta be kidding me. We just didn't give up a goal with 1.3 seconds left, did we? Yes, Carey. Unfortunately, you guys did. So at that point, I grabbed my Cherry River and I had a drink because I figured, you know what? I got a bad feeling about this one. I got a bad feeling. I'm still drinking, by the way. I'm still drinking. And my bad feeling that I had, you know what? They get to period number 3, and there was only one goal in the third, and it was the nail in the coffin. It was a Joel Edmondson turnover. Well, basically, Edmondson goes behind the net. He tries to bank it off the boards and leave it there for somebody. Price is going right to left. He has no idea where the puck is. The defenseman isn't there. No one knows where it's going. It went to Andre Palat. He picks it up. He tries to throw it at the direction of the net right away. It banks off of Carey Price's pad or skate, and it goes in behind them. And the Tampa Bay Lightning take a 3-1 lead. And that was it. And the game was over. And the Canadiens played really well. They dominated at times the defending Stanley Cup champions. And the defending Stanley Cup champions won anyway. And this team is just, even when they play bad, if you make mistakes against them, they'll kill you. When no other team will kill you, the Tampa Bay Lightning will kill you if they make mistakes. And a shout out to Nick Suzuki, who albeit was a -1, but he had 9 shots on goal in this hockey game. It was 60% in the circle, 18 minutes and 51 seconds of ice time. He had the Canadiens' lone goal. I thought he was very, very good. Eric Stahl, unfortunately, finished the night with a -2. So did Tyler Toffoli, finished the night with a -2 as well. And Jeff Petrie on defense finishes with a -2. So now look, the Canadiens are going to have to win 4 of the next 5. It's going to be very difficult because this Tampa Bay team is going to bounce back and they're going to play better. You can go to sportbuffshop.com for all of your officially licensed sports apparel and more. Use code 615 for 15% off on all of their items. And if you pick up an item of the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. And I have to tell you, look, even though we said there's a lot to be encouraged about, the Canadiens played much better in game 2, I find it discouraging that they played as well as they did and they lost. And I have to tell you, you know, a week ago, I thought the Canadiens were a team of destiny, but you know, they have chances. Now they're going up against Vasilevsky. This guy is the equalizer to Carey Price. And if anything, he's actually been better than Carey Price. And I get it. He's got a lot more firepower. He's got a lot better team. This might not be fair. Look, I'm gonna get this out of the way right away, okay? I don't expect Carey Price and the Montreal Canadiens to win hockey games if they're going to score a goal in game 1 and they're going to score a goal in game 2. And this is probably not going to be fair, but I'm going to say it anyway. Carey Price is going to have to play the 4 best games of his life. And it's probably, by the way, asking too much, and it's probably not going to be possible. But he might have to pitch 4 shutouts to beat these guys because the Canadiens aren't scoring. And who knows? Listen, I thought if they would be down 2-0 coming back home, there has to be a lineup change. And this team needs a spark. And I'm ready to make 2 lineup changes. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm putting Alexander Romanov on defense because the Canadiens are going to need some young legs. They're going to need a jolt of enthusiasm. They're going to be somebody who's hungry, somebody who wants to go out there and hit everything that moves. And I'm going to put Thomas Tatar in the lineup. And you can tell me all you want that Thomas Tatar is not a playoff performer. And by the way, you're right. But at one point, he's going to have to break open in the playoffs. He hasn't played in the longest time. Chances are they're not going to put him. But here's a guy who over the last 3 years has put up numbers for the Montreal Canadiens, be it top 3 in points, top 3 in goals over the last 3 years. At one point, he formed one of the best lines in hockey, 2-way lines, 200-foot lines with Gallagher and Deneau. I'm either putting him back on that line or I'm putting him back in the lineup and putting him on another line. You need guys that can score goals. And once again, I know he hasn't had success in the playoffs, but you can't expect to beat Tampa scoring 1 goal, albeit Tampa beat the Islanders scoring 1 goal in game 7. But it's asking too much. And so back to the drawing board for the Montreal Canadiens. They're going to have to revisit the way they're playing because clearly the way they're playing has not translated into wins for Tampa versus Tampa. They have to go back. They have to probably take a look at more tape, take a look at what the Islanders did against the Tampa Bay Lightning to actually force them to a game 7. But once again, I know they haven't lost at home yet, so they're not in huge trouble, but something has to be done here. The defending Stanley Cup champions just look like they can play a terrible game and they can win anyway. And that's the sign of a great team, a team that doesn't play their best and they win anyway. And, Luke Richardson said after game 1 that the Canadiens made mistakes and they have to brush up on that and they have to fix them. Well, on the Cirelli goal, I think it's safe to say Price would like to have it back, even though there was traffic. On the Blake Coleman goal, it's a mistake by Phil Deneau, and then it's a mistake by Ben Sherratt. On the Andre Palat goal, it's a mistake by Joel Edmondson, and the Tampa Bay Lightning capitalized again. So those are corrections that are going to have to be made. They're going to have to brush up on that as well. You can place your bets on MyBookie. Go to mybookie.ag/the Sick Podcast. Use code SickPicks for a 50% deposit bonus. Bet, win, get paid. And right now, if you have to place a bet, probably a good bet would be on Andre Vasilevsky to win the MVP of the playoffs. Vasilevsky to win the Conn Smythe. That has to be your bet right now. I mean, He's looking real good. And once again, this guy is, yes, he gave up a bad goal, but that was it. After that, he closed the door. Once again, if I would have told you before the game that the Montreal Canadiens were going to outshoot the Tampa Bay Lightning 43-23, chances are you would have told me that you would have felt pretty good about the Montreal Canadiens' chances of winning that game. I felt pretty good about it. I had my shirt on of Ça sent la coupe. I was all excited. And then I really liked the first period. And I said, okay, you know what? The Canadiens are going to be okay. But that goal at the end of the second, that one there hurt. That one there really hurt. You can't make mistakes like this, especially not in important games, especially not against a great team. Until game 3, I'm Marinaro, Cherry River by the Geloso Group. You can get it in all grocery stores. I'm going to drink my sorrows away. So if you want, drink with me. Bottoms up. It's the Sick Podcast. No one said it was going to be easy. Marinaro, you can listen to us via iHeartRadio. Follow us on all social media platforms. Go Habs, go.